I can bring up concerns for students directly to like the highest level possible.
I am empowered to provide a student voice.
Every week, I'm learning more and more about how I can do better for the student body.
My, allegiance to SSMU is not more important than my responsibility to students.
My name is Jemark Earle, and I'm the SSMU president. I'm in a bit of a unique position this year where I'm, a Black president with the ongoing Black Lives Matter movement. So I was doing a bunch of consultations with AO and with Principal Forche, Provost Manfredi, and Associate Provost Campbell for the plan that was most recently released, as well as working with groups like the BSN and Take James Down to organize various demonstrations and help them advance their goals. The biggest goal was to implement like a 5-year plan. And so I've been working on that a lot over the summer. There was a J-board case about the validity of the Constitution, and from that stemmed a bunch of conversations on how we can improve our relationship with our French constituents. Another part of my platform is just ensuring that marginalized and underrepresented voices are better represented both at the level of Senate and the Board of Governors. So I'm one of the only 2 students, I think, who has a seat at the Board of Governors. So I'm working with groups like Divest to ensure that like my position on CAMSR is used to the best of its ability.
I know the average student is going to have their concerns with SSMU. I mean, we're by no means a perfect organization. We appreciate being called out on it. I appreciate it. This position has a lot of potential to help a lot of people. The HR software that SSMU uses, there was a huge problem with like dead naming and misgendering and the use of legal names. Within about a month of taking this position, I sent 1 or 2 emails and it was fixed within a week. One of the things that I campaigned on was the policy on harassment discrimination. We were actually able to put in place all of the amendments that were called for in SSMU's condemnation. So that was pretty monumental, if I can say so. Alongside the Vice President External AO, I also spent a lot of time working with student groups for mobilizations around academic racism. So one of my big projects over the years is going to be setting up research infrastructure, working on a lot of employment equity. So revamping the HR policy, revamping the equity policy. We just set up the Black Affairs Commissioner position and Black Affairs Committee. We're still hiring for that one. I'm working on setting up a equity policy analyst to help with SSMU clubs, services, student associations. I'm hoping to get some extra student seats on Senate, and with that, hopefully some extra student seats on steering or nominating.
Starting with general finance and accounting, my main goal for this is just to increase clarity and transparency. I started that with the Where's My Money Going document, which you can find on the website and on Minerva as well. But I also want to implement kind of a budget breakdown and a finance breakdown to make it more, chewable for people who don't really understand SSMU finances all that well. So for the funding process, I have heard countless times it is far too long. I agree. So I'm working hard with the funding commissioner to expedite the process a lot, to bring it from 5 to 6 weeks down to 2, maybe 3 weeks. One of my goals was to give services credit cards. This is something that's been a long time coming, and it's finally happening. Super excited about it. So I want to make club banking as accessible as possible from a remote perspective. Tokens for club banking, they used to be this physical thing here, and now they're going online. SSMU has implemented Dialogue this year, and Dialogue is a telemedicine service that's free to all students on the health plan. And my goal is to just make sure that it's properly promoted and to ensure that as many students as possible are using it.
I see SSMU as this hub for student groups. I see it as a hub for students in general, where we can go to get those resources that enrich our lives beyond academics. Throughout the whole summer, I've been working with some other staff at the SSMU to develop our COVID operational plan, which we released in August. I did workshops actually with student groups where I had brainstorming sessions for them to help figure out what kind of virtual programming that they could do. One of my really big goals is to finally actualize and realize the clubs portal. The idea of it is a one-stop shop for all student groups to have a streamlined way to provide information to SSMU and get information from SSMU. It's a way for students to find out what student groups are available to them and what they can get involved in. I want students to know that we at SSMU are approachable. Hopefully we're here for you. I want to really be available and here for pretty much anyone who wants to see change happen in their community.
If you have any questions or just general concerns, I am always here and I'm more than happy to help.
don't feel like I'm unapproachable. Don't feel like you can't email me.
I'm still here to listen and voice your concerns, or just listen to you if you want to rant about certain things. So just reach out and I will definitely make myself available.